Have you ever felt like the weight of an emotional bond was too much to bear? Being stuck in an attachment cycle that you can't seem to break out of is a common problem that can make you feel helpless and stuck. But there is good news. Change is not only possible, it's also very close at hand. Using the teachings of ancient Stoic philosophers like Marcus Aurelius and Seneca, we will find the key to mastering the art of detachment and breaking free from the emotional chains that bind us. In this life-changing video, we will explore the profound principles of Stoicism to help you on your journey toward emotional freedom. By applying these timeless teachings, you will learn helpful and healthy ways to separate yourself from someone or something that is weighing you down. You can let go of the mental chains of emotional attachment, gain clarity, and focus on what really counts in your life if you believe in the power of personal growth and are ready to break free from the chains of emotional attachment. Let's watch this video together. The power of detachment. What is detachment and why is it important? When we hold on too tightly to people or things, they start to control us. It's like giving someone else power over your emotions and letting them change the channels whenever they want. Their influence can decide how happy you are. Your sadness, in the worst cases, can make people do things they can't take back. Detaching doesn't mean you stop caring. It just means giving things that are out of your control the weight they deserve. Imagine that your feelings are like a kite. This may sound strange, but bear with me. Each string that is connected to something or someone can lead you in a different direction. If you hold on to too many strings or one too tightly, you're at the mercy of the wind. Stoicism teaches us to let go and understand that we can't control the wind, but we can choose which strings to hold. This doesn't make you cold or indifferent. It makes you strong and grounded. Let's get more practical. First, figure out what or who you're too attached to. Then, ask yourself why you're looking for approval. Are you afraid of being alone or something else? Figuring out where your attachment comes from is the first thing you need to do to free yourself from it. Now do things that give you a feeling of purpose and satisfaction. Someone or some music should hold you down. Being detached from something sets you free. In order to understand attachment number 2, you need to know that when you're attached to something, you're acting from your ego. Let's get back to the basics. At our core, we are creatures of love. Picture a newborn baby who is filled with joy. As we get older, our ego takes over and fills our lives with attachments, whether they are to people or ideas. These attachments cloud our judgment and take our attention away from our essence, which is love. Remember that attachment is the ego's game. It is the exact opposite of love and self-contentment. Take a step back and look at our wants and connections through this lens. We can start to see how much weight they add to our lives that isn't required. Imagine a life that is based on love instead of ego. Imagine the freedom that comes from not being so attached to results. People or positions that live from love let you trust profoundly and believe that what's meant for you will come to you. This isn't just wishful thinking. It's a strong belief in your worth and abilities. Knowing that attachments are just anchors that hold you back from exploring the vast ocean you were meant to explore gives you the power to let go. So, how do we start to free ourselves from these anchors? In the beginning, recognize the connection for what it is, your ego trying to feel safe and vital. Next, change your viewpoint and realize that your worth isn't tied to this attachment. Your essence, your core, is enough. Realizing this doesn't happen overnight. It takes practice and a choice to put your inner peace ahead of external validation. Finally, accept the idea of abundance. When you let go of your fear of losing something, the world will give you more than what you lost. It doesn't mean you don't care. It just means you understand better. It means keeping true to who you are. If you let love instead of fear lead you on the path to detachment, it will change you. Getting rid of layers of the ego to reveal the strong, love-filled you. At its core, the soul is about moving forward with ease, free from the weight of attachment, ready to welcome new gifts, them on a pedestal as if they have something we can't have. But when we get down to our essence in life's most challenging moments, we realize that no one has a golden ticket and that we're all vulnerable and human. It's essential to face this illusion head-on and see it for what it is, an illusion. take a moment to talk about self-confidence and healing from the inside out. It's okay to tell yourself that you're lovely, unique, and exceptional. Having a childlike mindset is suitable for your self-esteem and inner child, but it doesn't mean you think others are less important or that you're separate from the human experience as a whole. Instead, it means realizing that while we all have our paths, none of them are inherently better than the others. Our stories are all intertwined in the enormous tapestry of life, and each one is just as important as the next. Now, let's talk about detachment. It's easy to get stuck in the lack mindset when you fear losing someone unique and irreplaceable. This thought pattern is a direct offspring of our ego, whispering lies of scarcity and limitation. In truth, enforcing emotional detachment is not about denying feelings or becoming indifferent, but about embracing the abundance of the universe and our capacity for love. It's acknowledging that while someone can be unique to us, our completeness doesn't rely on their presence. This realization liberates us from fear-based attachment, owing us to love freely, without clinging desperately, finally resonating with the STOIC philosophy. It's invaluable to practice seeing every individual, including ourselves, through a lens of equality. Everyone we meet, everyone we might lose, plays their role in our journey just as we play in theirs. But no role is indispensable by internalizing this. We cultivate a profound emotional strength that prepares us to face life's uncertainties with grace. The Stoics taught us the importance of focusing on what we can control: our perceptions, actions, and will, in applying this to relationships and detachment. We find a path to genuine peace and resilience shed, ending the illusions cast by our ego and embracing the liberating truth of our shared humanity. For detachment and practice to work, you have to be ready to let go of the things that happened in the past. You have to be ready to let go of old relationships. It's like holding on to a rope so tight that your hands hurt, but you're afraid to let go because you don't know what will happen. Let me tell you something. Letting go doesn't always mean you'll fall. Sometimes it means you can finally reach out and grab something even better. I learned this the hard way when I stayed in a safe relationship because it felt good, not understanding that I was blocking out possible happiness that was knocking on my door. Here's another truth bomb. FOMO, or fear of missing out, is a trap. You feel like you're missing out on life while looking at other people's highlight reels on social media, but it's not real life. It's a carefully chosen and edited picture meant to show off a perfect moment. I stopped looking at other people's stories and started reading mine. Living my own life, FOMO lost its hold on me. Not knowing every detail of someone else's life doesn't mean you're missing out. It means you're fully present in your own life, making memories that are unique to you. Attachment to a false image of happiness can make letting seem impossible. You see other people living their best lives and worry that you're falling behind and might never have what they have, but remember that the grass is always greener on the other side. From a distance, it looks greener, but up close you can see that it has some brown spots too. You are giving someone the false impression that their life is perfect steals. To get joy on your own, you have to run on a machine and try to catch a hologram. You can go as fast as you want, but you'll only get there if it's real. Letting go of things doesn't mean giving up happiness. You have to define it in your terms. To emotionally distance yourself, follow the Stoic principle and focus on what you can control: your thoughts, your deeds, and your growth. It feels good to know that no one's opinion, old relationship, or even your perfectly filtered life on social media can change your worth or your happiness. This realization is your shield. It frees you from needless ties that hold you back, letting you enjoy life's random beauty and leaving you open to the natural, satisfying connections that are just around the corner. Remember that letting go isn't the end. It's a brave move toward the life you really want. Mental freedom. This idea is fundamental when you're trying to separate yourself from someone. This is a process that is deeply rooted in the principles of Stoicism. It's not about cutting ties with malice or indifference, but about realizing that the deepest kind of friendship you'll ever have is the one you have with yourself. Your actual value comes from your character, your wisdom, and how you treat other people. It's easy to think that our happiness depends on someone else being in our lives and that our worth goes up or down depending on their approval or disapproval. But this way of thinking holds us back. Like a bird thinking it needs permission to fly, we limit our emotional freedom. Imagine instead learning that the sky has always been open for you to spread your wings on your terms. This kind of self-reliance is freeing and teaches us that our worth doesn't change based on other people's opinions or presence. So detachment isn't about pushing someone away, it's about drawing ourselves closer to our essence. By focusing on personal growth and becoming the best versions of ourselves, we free ourselves from the heavy weight of neediness. It's like taking care of a garden. You wouldn't beg a flower to grow. You'd tend to the soil, water the plants, and when you're trying to improve yourself, trust the natural process. We work to make a garden that blooms for everyone who walks through it or stops to enjoy its beauty. This care turns into a source of happiness that is self-sufficient, strong, and deeply satisfying. So how do we walk this path of emotional detachment? It starts with realizing that you are complete with or without someone's approval. Your journey is about discovering the limits of your sky and learning to love the freedom that comes from flying alone when you need to. Adopt the wisdom of Stoicism and focus on what you can change, your thoughts, your deeds, and your growth. This doesn't mean ignoring love and connection. It just means putting your emotional anchor in the solid ground of who you are. Remember that your self-worth isn't like a puzzle that's missing a piece from someone else. It's like a work of art that's finished, but still needs more beauty from the world around it. Thank you for watching, and I hope this gave you some ideas for your day. If it did, please hit the like button, and if it didn't, that's okay too. Your opinion is always valued here. If you want to learn more about personal growth, we have a special bonus for you. A gift that explores 3 Stoic rules for a happy life. Click the link in the description to get yours. Finally, do you have any thoughts or experiences to share about emotional detachment? Please leave them in the comments below. Also, if you know someone who could benefit from today's topic, please feel free to share this video with them. Until next time, let's spread the wisdom and help each other.